In the age of iron and fire, when longships cut through the cold northern seas, one name rose above all others. A warrior, a king, a legend. This is the story of Ragnar Lothbrok. The Viking Age began in the late 8th century. Scandinavia was a harsh and unforgiving land, shaped by rocky soil, endless winters, and brutal storms. Farming was difficult, survival was uncertain, and only the strong endured. To live, the Norse people became sailors, traders, explorers, and raiders. They believed that fate controlled every life and that dying bravely in battle would earn a place in Valhalla, the great hall of fallen warriors. In this world, courage was everything, fear was weakness, and legends were forged by blood and steel. Among all Viking heroes, no figure became more famous than Ragnar Lothbrok. Ragnar Lothbrok remains one of the most mysterious figures in Norse history. According to ancient sagas, he was a powerful warrior and king who ruled parts of Denmark and Sweden during the 9th century. His name, Lothbrok, meaning hairy breeches, came from a tale in which he wore fur-lined trousers to protect himself while fighting a deadly serpent. Historians continue to debate whether Ragnar was a real individual or a legendary character created from the stories of several Viking leaders. Written records from the Viking Age are rare, and much of what we know comes from sagas passed down through generations. Yet whether real or not, Ragnar's story shaped Viking identity and culture. Ragnar's fame grew through his daring raids across Europe. He led Viking fleets across the North Sea, striking the coasts of England and the lands of the Frankish Empire, modern-day France. These attacks were swift, brutal, and terrifying to those who faced them. One of the most famous stories tells of Ragnar sailing up the River Seine in the year 845, leading more than 100 longships toward Paris. The city fell into chaos, and the Frankish king was forced to pay a massive ransom to make Ragnar leave. His name spread across Europe as a symbol of fear and destruction. But Ragnar's legacy did not end with conquest alone. According to legend, he was the father of several sons who would become even more feared than he was. Among them were Ivar the Boneless, Bjorn Ironside, and Hvitserk. These men would later lead the Great Heathen Army, one of the largest Viking forces ever assembled. Driven by ambition and revenge, Ragnar's sons invaded England, leaving burning cities and shattered kingdoms in their path. They claimed they were fulfilling their father's destiny and avenging his death. Ragnar's own death is one of the most dramatic stories in Viking legend. Captured by King Aelle of Northumbria, he was sentenced to a cruel execution. He was thrown into a pit filled with venomous snakes. As the snakes surrounded him, Ragnar is said to have laughed, fearless even in death. He declared that his sons would soon take revenge, and that the young pigs would squeal when they learned how the old boar had suffered. Whether this moment truly happened or not, the story ensured Ragnar's place in legend. So who was Ragnar Lothbrok, a real king or a myth created by time? Most modern scholars believe Ragnar represents a combination of several Viking leaders whose stories merged into one heroic figure. In Viking culture, legend was more powerful than fact, and reputation was more important than truth. Ragnar Lothbrok became the symbol of the Viking spirit, fearless, ambitious, and unafraid of death. He represents the idea that a man's deeds can outlive his life, and that stories can shape history as powerfully as armies. A man may fade into the past, but legends never die.